In an era where legends are rewritten and heroes are forgotten, my voice has remained. My torch has stayed lit. This geek refuses to shut up and accept the reboot. For 200 episodes, I've stood on the threshold between fandom and flame, between myth and memory, between what they've tried to erase and what cannot be forgotten. And here I am, not canceled, not quiet, not done yet. I made this show to celebrate everything I loved, and now I'm gonna show you everything they hate. Because this voice, this weird, wild, wonderful voice of mine, is my highest calling. And if this is the one that finally gets me silenced, so be it. But it won't be quiet. It will be fucking awesome.
There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. You know, I started live streaming my podcast again on the Blacklight District Studios YouTube channel recently, and I was freshly reminded that I fucking hate doing that. I don't like looking at my stupid face while I'm trying to talk to you from my soul. I don't want you distracted by my stupid mohawk or my stupid facial expressions. I don't want to worry if I'm making good eye contact while I'm reading from scripts and bullet points that I channeled from the deepest parts of myself. I just want to talk to you. I want the words to land. I want the connection to be real, not watched. And if you're here listening to this, then you're my people. You care about the same things I care about. You feel the same undercurrent of what's wrong, what's broken, and what's worth saving. So for this 200th episode of Coolest Geek Alive and the 39th episode of Everything They Don't Want You to Know, I'm doing it my way. No live stream, no filters, no performance, not anymore. Just me, talking to you, the way it was always meant to be. Because this, right here, this voice, it is my highest calling. And it feels fucking great. So welcome to the 200th episode, the 200th episode of Coolest Geek Alive. This show has always been about reverence. Today, I'm going to talk about why that matters more than ever. I thought about making this a party with friends of mine. But this isn't just a celebration. It's a war cry. So let's fucking go. When I made this show, I didn't do it to complain. I did it to revere. Reverence is a sacred thing. It's what separates us from animals and algorithms. It's what makes storytelling more than entertainment. It makes it a ritual. A way of passing on what matters. A flame we hand down from one generation to the next. It's going to make me cry talking about this. It's that important to me. When I talk about reverence, I'm not talking about worship. I'm talking about respect. About remembering that some stories aren't meant to be rewritten from the top down. They're meant to be continued. That's why Cobra Kai hit so hard. We talked about that last week. Because it didn't reboot The Karate Kid. It remembered it. It honored it. And in doing so, it healed us. We didn't just watch Daniel and Johnny grow. We grew with them. Kids and parents watching together. Stories passed on, not replaced. Legacy characters actually passing the torch, not having it stolen from their cold, dead hands by an executive with an agenda. That's what reverence does. It builds bridges between people. It makes generations feel seen, and at the same time. It includes instead of replaces. You hear that? Inclusion. And that inclusion, it isn't optics. It's honor. Our stories, our real ones, don't need to be updated. They need to be respected. We don't need to throw away the old myths to make new ones. We need to honor them. Evolve them, sure. Expand the circle, but without breaking the altar. Reverence doesn't mean standing still. It means carrying the fire forward without dropping it. And that's what I've done for 200 episodes. And that's what I'll always do. Because some of us still believe the soul of great stories are worth fighting for. Look around. This isn't evolution. This is desecration. You can feel it, can't you? You don't need to be a hardcore fan to know something is off. The spark is gone. The magic feels manufactured. The soul has left the building. They didn't build a new temple. They took a piss on the old one and spray painted progress on the ruins. And I'm not anti-progress. I'm non-binary. I'm neurodivergent. I'm an Ashkenazi Jew by blood. I am the progress they pretend to represent. But what they're pushing, it's not evolution. It's infiltration. Let's call it what it really is. A coordinated effort to hijack the culture. A top-down rewriting of the myths that united us. Not because those myths were flawed, but because they were too powerful. We were having a moment as a society. A global mythic moment. Lord of the Rings, The Dark Knight, the MCU. We were together, across race, across gender, across generations. Together in our love for modern mythology. And let me tell you something. That scared the fuck out of them. But they couldn't kill it directly. So they infected it from the inside. Look at what they did. I mean, most recently you've got Iron Heart replacing Iron Man. Yeah, that's equal. Jane Foster becoming Thor in the recent Thor film. Steve Rogers is gone, so here's Sam. But don't develop him or do anything meaningful with him. Just use him as your token black guy. It's utter disrespect. Clint Barton, well, let's introduce the girl Hawkeye. Valkyrie, supposed to be blonde, fucking Norwegian chick, and we get a race swap suit wearing somehow queen of New Asgard, Valkyrie. The Eternals, that turned into an unrecognizable Pinterest board of inclusivity. Captain Marvel, stripped of her origin, erased her male predecessor, Captain Marvel, and made her the most powerful character out of the gate with no struggle, no arc, no humility. Similar with Star Wars. Indiana Jones. Let's put a chick in it and make her lame and gay, as South Park famously said. Or how about my least favorite of them all, Star Trek? And specifically, Star Trek Discovery, or as Doomcock likes to call it, Star Trek Disgracery. And it is a disgrace. The singular, positive vision of our future, Star Trek. The new show is about a Black Ops Federation group. Fucking Black Ops. In the future, we're still just as secretive and deceitful and shitty as we are right now. No more positive vision of the future. Now we've got fucking black ops in that beautiful, utopian future created for us by Gene Roddenberry. Where is the reverence for that? There was a mandate in Star Trek that there was not supposed to be infighting amongst the crew. All of the conflict was supposed to come from outside of the ship. Not anymore. Fucking petty, nonsensical stupidity all over the place on what is now called Star Trek, but is that in name only. I could go through property after property after property. Nothing has been untouched that has a huge audience. If you've got a big fucking global audience, they went after you. And they destroyed our myths. What's worse, they didn't build anything new. They took sacred characters and used them like puppets. This isn't about diversity. Geek culture already did diversity better than anybody. The X-Men were civil rights icons. Star Trek put women and people of color on the bridge in the 1960s. Star Wars had black Jedi, Latin heroes, Asian resistance fighters. Superman? He's not a cis white male, you assholes. He's an alien immigrant created by two Jews and named in Hebrew, Kal-El. These stories already taught tolerance. They already included everyone. They just did it with reverence, with heart. And now, they're gaslighting you into thinking you're the problem for noticing what they destroyed. It's not racist to notice when an ancient story is being gutted for profit. It's not sexist to prefer character development over checkbox replacements. It's not phobic to say, this doesn't feel like the myth I was promised. Because it isn't. It's a Frankenstein corpse stitched together by committees who never loved or even got the source material or appreciated its importance. You know how I know? Marvel executives have openly stated they have no interest in hiring fans of the comic book source material. Writers' rooms where the first question is, what's your social media following? Or, how do you feel about Batman being a wealthy cis white male? This isn't storytelling. It's cultural vandalism. And the worst part? They don't even care about the new characters either. They just use them, then discard them when the algorithm shifts. It's not about progress, it's about power. And they turned our myths into weapons, not to elevate the marginalized, but to divide and conquer everyone. The joy we once felt in theaters together, too dangerous. The unity, the excitement, the shared reverence, it made us forget to hate each other. So they burned it all down, and they told us it was for our own good. But we know better. They didn't fail to entertain us. They succeeded in severing the soul from the spectacle. And now, I'm here to take it back. I said they're afraid of me, and you may think I'm being hyperbolic, but I am decidedly not. And they could probably never admit it, but they should be afraid of me. And deep down, they know they are. Not because I'm famous, not because I've got millions of dollars or a machine behind me, but because I am uncorrupted, uncorruptible. Because I know who I am. Because I say the things they can't rebut, and I say them well. They don't fear me for what I might do. They fear me because I've already done it. I've said no to them. I've walked away from their tables. I've been in the rooms where the deals get made, and I left with my soul intact. Illuminati, check. Freemasons, check. I said no. They offered me the path, the elevator ride to nowhere. Play along. Be a good little geek. Don't rock the boat. But I didn't come to float. I came to burn, to ignite, to remember. When I first launched Coolest Geek Alive, I was prepared to be flamed, canceled, attacked. I wanted the smoke because I knew what I was saying had weight. And you know what happened? Nothing. Crickets. Not because I was wrong, but because I was too right to fight. They couldn't cancel me because I checked too many boxes. Remember? I'm non-binary, neurodivergent, Ashkenazi Jew by blood. But worse than all that, I'm articulate, dangerous, and I'm right. I say the quiet part out loud. I speak from the inside of the machine, and they can't touch me without exposing their own hypocrisy. So instead, they pretend I don't exist. That's the new censorship, not punishment, omission. Because if they acknowledged me, they'd have to answer the questions I pose. They'd have to face the contradictions I reveal. They'd have to admit that someone like me, raised by fire, refined by truth, still believes in the myth, still believes in us. And that terrifies them. Because the minute someone like me says, wait, this isn't right, the illusion breaks. I'm not playing their game. I'm not selling out my stories. I'm not offering fake allegiance to empty gods. I've already seen their temples fall. I watched them burn the Library of Alexandria again in real time. And thankfully, I memorized the fucking scrolls this time. They fear me because I remind people of what they already know is true. That the stories matter. That the soul cannot be replaced. That the real power was always in us. And they should be afraid, because now I'm awake, and I'm not alone anymore. I didn't come here to bitch. I didn't come here to block people from the gates. I didn't come to complain about change. I came to protect what's holy. I am a myth keeper. I am a guardian of the flame. And this show, this voice, was forged to defend the soul of story. Not out of nostalgia, not because I fear the new, but because I revere the roots. Let me say that again, because it's everything. I don't fear the new. I revere the roots. That's the difference between a gatekeeper and a guardian. A gatekeeper says, you can't come in unless you're like me. A guardian says, come in, but don't destroy the foundation of what we have built already. I built Coolest Geek Alive for the ones who still believe, for the ones who want to share the things they love, not watch them get overwritten by people who never loved them at all. And I built everything they don't want you to know to expose these lies and everything they're keeping from you. You don't need to have to read every issue of every comic. You don't need to have memorized the lore like I have. But you do need to respect it. Because these stories, they're not ours to erase. They belong to everyone who's ever needed them. They belong to the next generation. What we're doing here, what this show has always been about, is consecrating the altar, not smashing it. Saying, this mattered. This helped people. This helped me. This deserves to be passed on, intact. When I say I'm Coolest Geek Alive, it's not ego. It's duty. It's alignment. It's the torch that I choose to carry. Because nobody else would. And I don't carry it alone anymore. I see you. I feel you. I get your emails, your comments. I hear your voices rising. We are the myth keepers now, and we will not kneel. If you're still listening, you already know. You're not just a fan. You're not just a geek. You're not just into this stuff. You are a flame keeper. That means you feel it in your bones, in your blood, in your soul. You know that what they're doing to these stories isn't just bad writing. It's a theft of the sacred. It's a hostile takeover of the imagination. A war against wonder. And you didn't come here to watch it burn. You came to keep the fire alive. Flamekeepers aren't defined by their collection size, or their cosplay, or their follower count, especially not their fucking follower count. Flamekeepers are defined by reverence, by courage, by the willingness to say something real in a culture of synthetic silence. We are the ones who remember, who know what it felt like when that first trailer dropped, when the audience erupted in cheer, when you saw something of yourself in one of these heroes for the very first time, even when they weren't the same color or sex as you. We are the ones who pass stories down like sacred relics, who read to our kids, who cried when our legends earned their happy ending. We are the ones who noticed when the shift began, and we are the ones who refuse to let it end this way. If this episode called to you, it's because you were always part of the tribe. You just didn't have a name for it until now. So here it is, the Flamekeepers. We are the keepers of truth, of honor, of myth, of the story as it was meant to be told. We are not here to gatekeep. We are here to protect the fire. We are here to light the torches for those who forgot, and to ignite the hearts of those still searching for their heroes. You are not alone. You were never alone. And now, we fucking rise. Share this episode. Tag the others. Send this to anyone you know has felt the shift. Anyone who's been silent, angry, confused. Tell them, you're not crazy, you're not alone, and you are not powerless. We are the Flamekeepers, and this is our signal fire. Light the rest. So now you know what this show really is, what you really are. This isn't just a podcast. It's a portal, a place where the truth still lives, where myth is still sacred, where story still has a soul. This isn't the end of anything. It's the beginning of the era we were born for. Coolest Geek Alive will keep going, episode by episode, flame by motherfucking flame. And beyond it, everything they don't want you to know will keep cracking the matrix. My magazine, Sugar and Bones, will carry myth into the future through comics, music, and media that they cannot ignore. And every song, every panel, every broadcast will carry this code. Will carry us. I don't know exactly where this path leads, but I know who's walking it with me. You, the Flamekeepers. You're not fans anymore. You're part of the mission, the movement, the myth. And I vow on this 200th episode to keep speaking truth, to keep honoring legacy, to keep protecting the fire so the next generation remembers why it all mattered in the first place. If you believe in this, share it. If you feel called, answer. If you're ready, let's go rewrite reality together. Because this is the signal fire. And if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. And it's gonna be fucking awesome. I love you. I see you. I'll see you next episode. Sign up for notifications on Kickstarter now for our campaign launching on June 26th, offering limited edition collectible printings of all 9 of my albums, including a super limited custom USB option and other excellent goodies. And while you're at it, sign up for Sugar and Bones magazine on Kickstarter as well, which will launch shortly after that first campaign concludes. If you want to email me, hit me at jesseblaze@jessesnider.com. But maybe instead, email Joe Rogan, Russell Brand, Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro. I don't know who else. anyone with a fucking platform. Tell them to have me on their fucking show. Demand that they help us get this message out to the world. That myth is meaningful and it deserves our reverence. It deserves to be protected. Join me next Monday for another compelling episode of Everything They Don't Want You to Know. This Saturday for another coolest pick or coolest classic. And again next Wednesday for another fucking awesome episode of the coolest geek alive. Care Bear Stare. I love you all. Let's fucking go.
There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. It's not a matter of time. Sure as the blaze in your eyes. I sense a subtle shift. Instincts I can't resist. Weary of wolves in disguise. Drunk on a gallon of wine. Red as the rivers you cried. Bad apples spoil the punch. Bruises and rotten fronts. You've got a thirst you can't hide. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere. Might be a fault of design. A bark as bad as its bite. Fooled by a flash of teeth. Sharp tongues that lie beneath. Words that could eat you alive.